So the way these install is you're gonna just kind of, well, that just went flying. Pre-review discussion, how critical are you gonna be of the C8? Well, okay, this is a great question. I'm gonna be just as normal as I am with everything else. I'm not gonna sit here and be like stupid critical about it. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, well, like this little corner piece bothers me from this. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna have some understanding. Maybe there's some design choices. We're also gonna take price into consideration. However, I want to let you guys know coming into this review, I feel like I actually have a pretty good head on my shoulders when it came to the Cycle 7. I think I was one of the few people who didn't quite care. Like I didn't quite have such a big hype for it like a lot of others did. We'll actually go over some stuff before we actually jump into the unboxing here. But one of the key things that I saw about this that really stuck out to me, it has a front height of 17.55 millimeters, and then the effective front height or whatever it is 19.66. And this is excluding feet pads, so probably what, about 20? 17.55, that's usually, we don't really, I personally here look at that as a number. The non-effective is fantastic. I think this is gonna be a great keyboard for this. An 8-degree typing angle. It's a TKL if you guys didn't see that as well. It does have a WinKey and WinKeyless supported layout. And it does have gasket / O-ring, they're saying. Click-Clack is the vendor here. Click-Clack has been amazing. I haven't had no issues with Click-Clack personally. I just feel like it's important that we still discuss these certain things. Pricing starts at $155, and then I believe the most expensive configuration can get to what, $175, I believe? Let me see if I can make this. Well, okay, if you get the battery component as a brass cover. I'm not gonna count the HE PCB. I'm just gonna count tri-mode. But if you go like all out and get the brass battery cover and everything, it looks like you're gonna be spending, does it have like it'll be $175 plus $60 for all the extras. So it'd be around $235. But if you just go with the basics, being the aluminum battery cover and the wired soldered PCB, it's $175. Inner weight's an additional $16. All right, we have a PCB. They sent over a solderable one today. Oh, they did send over some stabs. Does the stabs come in the box here? I didn't see anything about stabs being included. I don't know if stabs come with this. They might. They probably do then if they're including this in the box here. I don't know what type of stabs they are. Maybe we'll use the included ones. We have PCB. We have a plate. We have foam. We have our gaskets. I'm not going to use foam today. We have like little bean gaskets, the O-ring stuff, spacebar foam. What's this? Bump-ons for the bottom and screws. So you know what? Let's get the gaskets or these out of here. It does not come with a carrying case. It comes with a cardboard box, which is a little, actually, I don't know if it does. We'll open this up and we'll see what's inside here. But I don't see a carrying case. It might, who knows? Again, I have not actually seen anyone unbox this yet. This is the first time I'm unboxing it too. There's a carrying case inside the box. I'll be honest, I would rather them not include the cardboard box then. Like, just give me the carrying case. I feel like this is just excessive packaging at this point. Okay, there is one here. All right, let's see what's in here. All right, let's see what's inside here. Ooh, this is a nice color though. So what's in here? I feel like the PCB and stuff should have just been all inside this. All right, I mean, this looks really pretty. Let's take it out of this plastic wrap first. Ooh. I like the weight design. This looks way better than the Cycle 7 already. They have like a brushed finish mixed in with this PVD, which is really nice, but they did a great job with this. This looks super pretty. Side profile wise, it is a play on a box on wedge. It doesn't have any fancy curves or anything like that. It does have some kind of like these claws going down here. No real curves or tapers, maybe a small little taper downwards right over here. Very pretty though. I think this is very classy looking. Again, way nicer looking than the Cycle 7. I do like this kind of edge they have going on here on the back. Kind of adds something to it. All right, how's the coating? That's what I'm kind of looking at right now. The anno looks fine. I don't see anything to be upset about on the anno. The internal weight looks good too. It is brushed on the inside. It does have a ribbon cable, which I'm assuming is to help compensate for the very low front height, which you can already tell feels great. The TKD coatings are cream, peach, lemon, acorn, which I'm assuming is a brown, canvas, and rock. And then the anodized units are crow, lunar, metal, which probably is like a gunmetal, ruby, peacock, void elf, that's a cool name, alloy, and zeal. Love your reflection in the weight. Yeah? Dude, this is kind of scary, not gonna lie. Let's see the insides here. Let's see how easy this is to open. Okay, this is nice. So it looks like we have a really large area for the LEDs to kind of get filtered into here. Normally these are silver, these are like a bronze kind of color this time. That's kind of cool. But there's all the internals. Some interesting notes that I'm already seeing here, which looks like they've taken some pointers from other boards. You can see right where these screws are, if I zoom in a little bit here. These are actually silicone, so these will probably act as a alignment tool slash so nothing scratches as you put inside the keyboard here. Probably will also act as a smidge of a force brake, as well as these little bump-ons over here too. Again, so things don't clank around as you put down these things. It does seem like they also have some foam on the inside edge over here, which is quite nice. Again, helping with alignment, probably also helping with some weird metallic noises from the structure. So this is a little bit thoughtful. We've seen this on 1 or 2 boards so far, I think mostly from like the Neo system. I do like the catchball system though. If you're incentivized to keep opening up your keyboard and try new things, it is a lovely thing to have. But if you're not really incentivized to do so, then maybe not. And then there's a little badge, PVD badge on the inside on this side. Kind of cool. I feel like there's a lot of little badges in this keyboard. Designer signature there, another logo, and then VTX engine. Not really sure what VTX engine refers to. This is the basic one though, guys. So this is the standard solderable PCB. Options wise, looks like we have split backspace, which I don't know how many people do on this. We have ISO, which is cool. We have split right. A lot of good options on this PCB. I like this. Split left, step caps, cool. I think we're just gonna do a standard layout today. PC plate. And then these are the switches that we're gonna be using. These are based off GMK Maestro, but these are the Gateron Maestro switches. I've heard some good things about this, so we gotta set in. So good, yeah, I've heard some nice things. Mounting style wise, we can do the O-rings, which I'm excited to try these, or we do these little gasket bean type things. I don't know what they're calling this, just little gasket pipe things, dumbbell kind of gasket things. I don't know. So the way these install is you're gonna just kind of, well, that just went flying. The way these are gonna install is do this. I have to go pick up one now. Yeah, that's not the way you do it. You don't make it fly off. Oh wait, am I still missing one? Did I not get enough in the package? No, I got the one that flew away. Oh, maybe I didn't get enough in the package. Why does this always happen to me, man? It's not exactly the right size, but I do have some. Bro, you dropped it, it's on the floor. Unfortunately, I can't really give you guys the best example of this, but we'll just use this makeshift small O-ring I have. Sorry guys, sorry about that. I hate when this kind of stuff happens, but I really hope they do better in the QC to make sure they should just give you one extra at this point. That is annoying to say the least. Looks like a mint chocolate ice cream. Oh, dude, mint chocolate ice cream sounds so good right now. Now, again, we are using not all the O-rings because unfortunately I don't have all the O-rings, but you guys like the way it looks? I think it looks kind of cool. I'm pressing pretty hard to see if there's any squeaking noises. I think we're good with squeak or whatever. Ooh, this spacebar is really nice. There's a smidge of a metally sound to it. A smidge, I'm hearing it just ever so slightly come through, but I don't mind it. No, it does sound really good. I'm very happy with the sound signature just out of the, like with no extra things installed to here. Nah, this is nice. This sounds good just like this. I want to give you guys more of a long term with this too, so I'll do a long term like sound thing with this too. And also just if I have PCB issues, probably I'll report back in like a week and a half-ish. I'll give it credit here. I think a lot of these little extra pieces you might take for granted, like the side pieces of silicone, these little bump on things here, they're good. I think maybe my only gripe with the keyboard, other than the QC issues, is really just this ribbon cable. I feel like this is a pain in the butt. No, this is nice. I really like this. Let's try the next mounting style. Hopefully we have enough bean mounting gasket things. So this is with the bean gaskets now. I would say this feels the same firmness, by the way. Do you guys hear a difference? It feels the same though, I'm not gonna lie. It feels the same firmness. Maybe a little bit deeper compared to the other one. I feel like this does sound a smidge more muddy. The mods definitely sound a smidge different. Okay, I'm gonna chalk it up to I think this sounded a smidge brighter on the alphas, maybe not the spacebar. I'll have to go back and check. I wouldn't say there's a big, humongous difference though. I think I'd be happy with either one of these. So not like I'm dying to have either one here. Oh, so here's the foam inside here. So let's get rid of this and let's put in these. The weight has some, oh, and I guess that's just some discoloration there. Had some fogging on it, some like spots, but you can just wipe those away with your fingers. Let's see how this affects the sound, if anything. All right, so here is the test with the O-rings now, with the internal weight. So this actually is pretty heavy now. Is it weird to say that I think I liked it more without the internal weight? Like, it definitely sounds fuller now, which is good. I mean, it still sounds good though. I think you'll be good to go with either one, to be honest. This sounds fuller, before sounded a smidge brighter and more metallic, which I kind of like, to be honest. But I think there's no wrong choice for me right now. The spacebar absolutely slaps on this. The front height's really comfy on this too. I love that. No, this sounds good. Yeah, we can try the bean gaskets too. I'll do that right now for you guys. I'm happy with this. It's a good overall sound signature in every configuration that we've tried so far. Not a huge difference between any one of them that's like super noticeable, but I'd be curious to see what this keyboard sounds like with a more long pole, like loud switch too. I think that'll be kind of fun as well. I actually do hear a smidge of a difference with the bean gaskets with the weights. This is actually really nice here. Ooh, okay, this one here I really like. The alphas just sound punchier with this. Oh, yeah, this is nice. That's kind of definitely weird. Maybe it's just the way the sound is resonating with the bean gaskets. The bottom row does sound a lot better. It does sound a lot better with the bean gaskets installed. I think this config right here is my favorite. This is obviously going to add some price to the board though. So it's not going to be quite that 165 or 155 price point if you go for the internal weight. If you wanted to go with the stainless steel inner plus the stainless steel battery cover, this board would be 185. Not terrible. You could go all brass, which ends up being a little bit more money. I would urge you guys to check out the webpage to see all the different price breakdowns for this. It seems like the most expensive thing you probably could get yourself is the brass battery cover, which is $40 extra, and then the brass inner weight, which is an additional $16. So that's an extra $56 just for the brass pieces. Or you could just get aluminum everything, which probably will sound okay. I do think if you're gonna go for anything, probably just get yourself the brass or the brushed stainless steel battery cover at the very least. Even with that, at a 175 price point, you know, with the extra cover, the more expensive one, decent little price point. It's not a boring board. I think that's the most important part here. If the CNC on this was like the Cycle 7, I'm gonna be honest, I would say this is a bit boring and to go with other things. But they actually gave this some nice character to it, and I appreciate that a lot. There's a lot of like fun pieces to this. They did a lot of good job with the internals. The price point works here. I think this works a lot better than some of the competitors right now. Again, it's a pretty looking design, which I think helps as well. Not only that, it has some character to the board, has some shape to it. This is an easy recommend, assuming they get the QC stuff down on the things that were missed, being like the stabs, the O-rings. Not a whole lot of stuff that I can say we can truly like hate and criticize about this. All right, see you guys. Love you. Bye-bye.